Hey everyone! So in this video I'm going to compare the Neunaber Immerse to its old Wet Stereo Reverb. I really want to know if we can match the same sound on the Wet and on the Immerse, because the Wet algorithm is my favorite ambient reverb ever. I've been using it for years and it's my go-to always on sound when I want to play ambient guitar. So I'm going to demonstrate my favorite settings on the Wet Stereo Reverb. Basically all of the knobs at 3 o'clock, and the middle knob is tied to the modulation depth. You cannot see the tone, but it's just neutral at noon. So let's hear the Wet Stereo Reverb. Wow, my favorite sound. So let's see if we can replicate that exactly on the Immerse. On Neunaber's website, they said that they improved the Wet algorithm, so I'm not expecting that it's going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to put all the knobs at the same place, the mix, the depth, the modulation depth, just to see if it's going to be the same. So just like that, we should be pretty close. Let's try the Immerse. What I already noticed is that the modulation knob doesn't react the same, so there's too much modulation compared to the Wet, so I'm going to back off on it. Let's try again. I think with the Immerse we have more depth, so the reverb is ringing longer, so I'm going to back off on the depth a little bit. But we are getting close. Let's compare again. Instantly hear that the Wet is warmer, so maybe with the tone knob on the Immerse we can get the reverb to be warmer. Pretty close. Let's compare again. Yes, it's warmer. There's more bass in the reverb. You probably don't hear it on a cell phone, but I think the Wet is a little bit warmer, but it might have to do with how I set up the pedals in the inside settings. Because if you don't know it, all of the Neunaber pedals, the Wet and the mono or stereo and the seraphim reverb and the choruses and the echoes, all have the option of loading another pedal from Neunaber inside your own pedal. It's the first time and the only time I've seen a pedal company do that. So when you buy the Wet Stereo Reverb, you basically have access to all of their pedals. You just have to plug it in your computer via USB and open the software, so it can be a pain to do it if you want to change pedals often, but you have the option, which is really great. But that being said, the Wet seemed warmer, but the Immerse was deeper, I think. I felt like the reverb was going into a canyon, like farther than the Wet. Just try to focus on the depth of the reverb. The Wet. I feel like the Immerse is even more complex on how the modulation acts with the reverb and the depth of the reverb, and the Wet is more intimate, more straightforward, warmer a little bit. I'm sure I could find a way to match them, but they are just beautiful, both reverbs. And you have to realize that the Immerse is at the same price that the Wet was, but now you have access to 7 other types. You have the echo, the detune, 2 types of shimmer, howl, spring, plate. It's just incredible what you have with the Immerse that the Wet doesn't offer. It's just a one-trick pony. Yes, you can load sounds via USB, but it's just one sound. I love this sound, but this offers so much more. Let's just hear the howl and the shimmer. Let's try the howl on the Immerse. This is incredible, the complexity of the reverb. Wow. Let's try the shimmer also. I like to have my shimmers dark, so it's really nice to have the tone knob here. The shimmer doesn't get in the way, but it can. The Immerse is the kind of pedal that you put the knobs anywhere and it always sounds good. It's incredible. And what is really nice is that you have a little switch here that is kill dry switch, so you can have 100% wet sound with the Immerse, which you can't with the Wet Reverb. If I put the mix 100% up, you still hear my dry signal, right? But if I flip the switch on the Immerse, I have 100% Wet Reverb. So you don't hear my dry signal. So if you guys were wondering to get the Wet or the Immerse, I say the Immerse all the way. The Wet is still a beautiful reverb, but the Immerse gives you so much more for the same price. 7 more algorithms, you have the tone knob directly on the pedal, you can go 100% wet, you have deeper reverb. So this is a clear winner. It's going to be probably one of my favorite reverb pedals for years to come. So Immerse all the way. If you found this video helpful and this comparison helpful, give a big thumbs up to my video. If it's your first time on my channel, you can subscribe by clicking on my head, the little bubble here. And if you want to learn beautiful, beautiful chord, I have a online course, a mini course that is for free that you can take. It's the first link in the description box, and I'm happy to offer you for free. So thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, au revoir.